Hey guys, this is Mark from parkflyers.com. Today we're looking at the Infraction 6S version 1. This is a customer's car. He brought it in because he wanted to liven it up with a more powerful system, and he asked us what did we think that the best system for this car would be, and there is no doubt in my mind it's the Mama Monster 8S with the 1650 kV motor, and it's the 1717 motor. Really, really beautiful motor. It's actually a perfect fit for this car. It goes right in. And you're going to get much better acceleration. You're going to probably scorch the tires off the line, and it's just going to have an overall feeling of a lot more power. The potential for top-end speed is tremendous. You can get this car to go over 125 miles an hour with this setup, depending on your gearing. However, a lot of people don't realize that the motor and speed controls, they're not really designed to go that high on a consistent basis, running back-to-back runs. Those are for, speed runs where you run the car one or two passes and you let it cool down. A more practical approach is to gear it more responsibly. So what we did with this car, we're going to start the customer off with a 22 tooth pinion, and we think it's going to be plenty for the customer just because of the aggressiveness of the acceleration and the top speed. It's probably going to hit just over 80 miles an hour. And if the customer wants to increase that over time, they can come back and we can increase the pinion for a very minimal cost. Now, the pinion that we use for this car is a very special pinion. It's made by Techno. It is a really very high quality hardened steel, and the grub screw is 2.5 millimeters, where a stock grub screw is 2 millimeters. That is a very big deal because sometimes the 2 millimeters strip out. The 2.5s never strip out. And like I said, the Techno has really some of the best steel. It's a machine steel, and it's really a tough gear. You're probably never going to break one like other manufacturers. Now, for cooling on this car, we decided to go with a 40 millimeter fan from McLaren. There's a couple of reasons why this fan is the best. It has multiple blades around the surface of the fan, so the cooling is above average when you compare it to the similar price fans. It also has shielding on the motor magnet for the fan, so that when you place it close to the motor, the RPMs don't drop at all and there's no interference. So that is definitely my pick. There was no dropouts or glitching when running this fan. Like I said, it is a 40 millimeter. It's bigger than the average fan, but we didn't see any problems running it on the Mamba X speed controller. And we are, no pun intended, a fan of this fan. So when you're running a car like this at the speeds that we're talking about, you do have to put on a motor fan, and it is really essential. Now, when a motor is run consistently and heats up, and usually I think above 180 degrees, it starts degrading the magnets in the motor, and eventually the performance starts going down in the motor, and eventually the motor will fail. So putting a 40 millimeter fan on a motor like this is essential, and it's gonna definitely ensure that this motor lasts a while. Now, we may do a follow-up video as the customer gets used to the car and gets used to the speed. We're gonna slowly try to up his pinion. We don't want to run it too hard because we don't want to break his motor and speed control, but we want to ease into the top speed and go from there. Now, what we did on this car for tires is on the front we have the Power Hobby set of tires. We got rid of the Hoons, and for the rear we use the Toyo Proxys from Proline. Now, the Toyo Proxys are a different type of rubber than the Hoons that come with the car. The Hoons are a very, very hard tire, and it allows the car to slide around a lot. When you're doing high-speed runs, I'm not a fan of sliding around or any type of lack of grip, let's say. So I like the Toyo Proxys just because they have more grippier rubber, especially on the rear. I like them on the rear. It keeps the rear end planted and it keeps the car straight. So if you're going to set up a car like this, I would definitely go with a set of Toyo Proxys. You could put them in the rear, or you could put them in both front and rear. For the type of driving that this customer is going to do, we actually decided just to put them on the back based on what he wanted out of the car. We also changed the XT90 stock connectors to the newer IC5s just because all the batteries that we're selling in the hobby shop, most of them have IC5 connectors, and that's really what people are running today. It's the same resistance for both XT90 and IC5, so there's not going to be a big change in there. It's just a lateral move and a more common plug. Anyway, we hope you enjoyed this video on the Infraction V1. Please give us a thumbs up. Share this video with friends and comments below. Have a great day, and we'll see you on the next one.